Truthfully, I make less money running a team than I did when I sold homes. But it's different. I like changing lives more now than I did selling homes. So if I can affect somebody's life, if I can see somebody grow, that's so much more rewarding.
So I'm really impressed on what you've pulled off here in the last few years. Like, you have had this hockey stick growth. And there must have been, was there like a defining moment where you said, I'm going to change? Or did some of it kind of happen?
I think the defining moment, if there is one, was more the growth of leaders around me and the growth of myself personally. Coaching has made a huge difference in my life. When I was younger, I'm still old. I'm old now, but when I was younger in the business, I didn't believe in coaching. I thought you just go out and do it, right? But now I've surrounded myself with people that are better than me. Everybody that works for our team, truthfully, is better at me than me at what they do. 100% better. And the coaching, I've worked with some of the best coaches. I've worked with Mike Gerbic. I've worked with Eric Hatch. I've worked with John Sheplack. Listening to them and actually implementing has made the difference.
Did you work with Hatch before Real?
I did.
You did?
I did.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's Eric Hatch, right?
Yep.
And he's out of, is it North Dakota?
Fargo, North Dakota.
Yeah. So you got a big team there in a small community.
I think he peaked at over 1,000 sales a year.
Wow.
In Fargo.
In Fargo. Unbelievable.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, that's outrageous.
Anywhere. It's insane.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yes.
then you pick a little teeny market.
Little town.
Yeah. That's amazing. So how cool is it, if you're going to, if you learn how to fly with the eagles, you're going to soar. Otherwise, you hang with the dogs, you're going to get fleas, right?
Well,
and I'm such a believer in that, of surrounding yourself, especially the mentor side of it, because sometimes you're like, I don't have someone. Well, sometimes you got to pay.
You do have to pay, and
right?
It's not cheap either.
Yeah, it's like you might need to pay, and I think that's a common thing I hear from people. Well, I don't even know who to go to. It's like, there's a lot of really great coaching organizations.
Yes.
Just go ask other successful people who they hire for a coach, and success leaves clues on that.
Leaves a trail.
Yeah.
Right? Look around the country. Most of the people I talk to aren't in the metro. I spend a lot of time talking to people in other parts of the country. What are they doing? It makes a difference, because it seems like if it starts on the west or the east coast, it makes it here sooner or later, right? So try to stay ahead of the trend that way. And if you look around, certain teams are coaching with certain people. And those teams that are growing, the ones you want to be like, just do what they're doing.
Totally. I'm such a big, and Chepler is your coach right now?
Yes, right now.
I just, since you said that, started following him on social media.
Yep.
And I'm like, God, I love this guy.
Yeah.
I had heard of him before, but I hadn't followed him on social media.
And he's
And
in
I know-
better shape than both of us, too.
He's not even
So,
comparable on
yeah.
that. He's
So,
jacked. There's no question
Yeah.
about that. So, hey, let's put it in a box. Grant Johnson team today. It's April 2025.
Mm-hmm.
How many agents do you guys have?
We have right around 90 today. I was told we have 10 more joining next week. So I'm hoping by the end of April, we'll break 100.
Nice.
Which, when we joined Real in September 11th, we joined Real Broker from EXP. We had 50 agents.
Wow. If you go back 2 years ago, where were you at?
20.
Wow. That's amazing growth.
2023, we sold 278 homes. 2024, we sold 539.
Mm-hmm.
So the growth through people, though, I mean, people move the money, people move everything. It's not me, it's a we, right? If you're at Real Broker, the whole saying is we is better than me and bigger than me. And it's true, because our team is not just me, it is the people. All our leaders have been self-developed. They've joined the team and they've kind of grown up through the ranks. Our best agents joined us as rookies, a lot of them, and they've just kind of grown with us.
Yeah.
And I love to develop that way. I like developing people.
Yeah, it really raised my eyebrow when I saw the Minnesotan team. So my friend Darren Bjerknes, is part of that. And I was like, wow, you absorbed an entire team.
We have absorbed 5 teams in the last 2 years.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And we're probably one more next week.
Okay.
And it's about, as we've grown, we've tried to grow the right way with offering the right services to the agents, the right products, and the right staffing that most people can't do. Running a real estate team is tough. And I know you know a lot of team leaders. Most of them don't make a lot of money. It's hard. Running a real estate team is super hard. And there's this messy middle that's like between 5 and I'd say 30 to 50 agents right now, where it's not very profitable. So you got to find a way to grow, and it's very difficult for most people.
Yeah, listen. From the outset, I'm the money guy, right?
Yep.
So I'm of the belief that for most agents, they're better to have some support and be by themselves, or maybe like a showing assistant or a buyer's agent, and that's it. Like if once they try to go to the big team and they got 6 agents on their team, they actually go backwards. They're working harder and they make less because they're so worried about feeding the team that they literally make less money working harder, and they're more stressed and worried. And then they just lack the skills, which can be learned, everybody, just a reminder, right? Like management and leadership's a learned skill, but they can just come plug in with you guys.
And everything's there for them.
The transact. Like, yeah, so let's just say, for people that don't know, and I don't either, that's why I'm asking. So let's just say I am the 18 closing a year realtor, right?
Yep.
Where when you get into the busy time, it gets busy. That means you could have 3 or 5 closings at a time. You're getting a little stressed. And they're saying, what other options are available? I'm at a traditional brokerage. Like, what other options? So if they come to you, what do they get?
We take everything off their plate except for selling homes.
Okay.
So everything from transaction coordinating to their marketing to basically an assistant for them, everything is off their plate. Mm-hmm. So all they have to do is go do what they do best, which is work with clients, buyers and sellers.
How do you do all that and still have a competitive split? That's like the head scratcher for me, right? Is it just a kind of a law of numbers?
It is, but we run really lean.
Yeah.
We don't spend any money we don't need to on stuff that is crazy. We have every system you ever need, but it's still tough. I mean, real estate teams, a great real estate team will run on a 20% margin. Most of them are 10% or lower. And
if you guys hear that, if you're a realtor,
yeah,
10% net margin.
Correct. Which isn't, truthfully, I make less money running a team than I did when I sold homes. But it's different. I like changing lives more now than I did selling homes. So if I can affect somebody's life, if I can see somebody grow, that's so much more rewarding. So life has changed. You change, right? You change as a person. The older you get, you learn leadership, hopefully. I mean, I still probably suck at a lot of it, but I've grown a lot over the last few years, and it's through coaching, it's through people that you meet, and it's through making mistakes.
Totally. So I see this hockey stick thing here, and what's kind of like, I look at it from the outside, I'm like, oh man, there can be some growing pains that probably are going to come into play, and you just got to learn and adapt. Like, what do you think those are that are coming up that you're already being proactive on?
So it was interesting. I was texting with Eric Hatch last night, and he said there's a lot of 10s and 30s, right? So right now we're building for a 300-person team. So we're at 100, so every system we're putting in place, we're looking ahead at what we need for 300. And then I don't know if we'll ever get bigger than that. I don't know if we'll ever hit 300. There's no real goal in mind, but I think right now it's going to be staffing is going to be the big thing we're looking at. We're hiring right now. I know we'll need more marketing people. I know we'll definitely need more staff. Do you go to the VA? Do you do VAs offshore for some of it? Do you hire in-house? And then training. Training is the other big thing. So we've been rewriting our whole training system. So we currently are hiring a whole bunch of, rookie agents. There's a whole bunch that want to join our team. So we wrote a whole training program for them. So their first week is going to be almost like hell with us because they have to do certain things to stick around for week 2. Mm-hmm. And so it's really going to come down to teaching the right methods, the right steps to become successful. It's harder now. I was talking to Sheplack, about a week ago? And the average times you need to reach out to somebody now to get a response has gone up to 41. So to be a realtor, to call people, to follow up, to text, you better be willing to reach out a bunch of times.
Yeah, the market's a lot harder right now. I would have thought from last year to this year, like I thought it was going to kind of loosen up, right? Especially in the fall, we got a little rate dip.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah. It's like, all right, it's coming. And it's like, well, no, that party stopped. And then I feel like some people are getting uneasy right now with the tariffs and what does this mean for the future? So, we're winning, but it's almost like you have to do like 3x
Oh, yeah.
What you used to have to do to get the, like, just if you wanted to close 20 deals, you got to work 3 times as hard to close 20.
And I think that's why you see other agents gravitating towards teams right now.
Okay.
Because we can take so much off their plate, allow them to do that. But it is a lot more work. I mean, everything right now is multiple offers again, right? I mean, one of my agents just lost with 21 offers on the table. I mean, 21 offers, I hate to say it, you better be cash to win on that one, right? Or have really strong financing with no contingencies. It's tough out there right now.
It is. This will pass. Like
yeah,
everything.
it will. It does every year.
Yeah. In 60 days, it'll pass.
Yeah.
I think so. A lot of people, I would hate for them to succumb to fear,
No.
to think this is going to be like this forever. Especially, I'm talking to agents, not the
Yes.
consumer, of like, this will pass. And then all of a sudden, it'll be like 90 days from now, you're getting seller concessions. And you're saying, wow, I didn't think this would ever come. It's like, so be patient. Right? Like,
The market shifts really quick.
it does.
I remember 2008.
Well, think of 6 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
Six months ago from right now, it was 3% under list price, full seller concessions, right? Like that just happened. That's unfortunately our appraisals right now too are that. So it kind of hurts. But
And what are we at now? Just over 100% of list price on average, I'm sure.
yeah, I would imagine so.
But the market shifts. I mean, I've been through so many shifts in my career. It's no different. Just keep doing the right thing. As an agent, just keep doing your activities, and you'll be fine. Some markets are harder. The foreclosure crisis, right? We used to carry 50, 60 listings at a time. We were writing reverse offers to people. The seller, if you showed their home, we would send you an offer. We'd take this much for it. It's just a different market. You just got to work with the market.
You do. I remember when you had to make an offer and it would be 6 months for the bank to accept the offer. And people nowadays would be like, what? It's like, yeah, you would put an offer out there. For 6 months, you'd go like this. And does it get approved? No one knows.
Yep.
Right.
And you didn't know.
Yeah. So it's a different, you got to learn to adapt to the game, but the sales skills are always the same.
It's
Learn
sales
picking up
business.
the phone, text, email, handwritten notes, like
Yep.
all of that. And actually, it almost seems to me, outside of the group that wants to text, the other group, most people are reverting back to the old school stuff. It seemed like during COVID, it was like, all like the new school, it's going to be only social media. It's going to be only text. It's like, truthfully, what I'm seeing, the people that are blowing up are the ones that are actually doing face-to-face phone calls, networking, building relationships. Are you seeing the same thing?
A lot of that. And email, too.
Yeah.
Email is having a huge comeback for us. Our open rates have skyrocketed. And like we have a database at our team of over 90,000. And we email them all. Our open rates have skyrocketed and our replies have skyrocketed on email, which I'm shocked by.
Yeah. You know what we went back to this year, made a commitment on? Actually started last year. Monthly mailer.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And it works, right?
It does.
Yeah.
That's why we do it.
Yeah.
Like it's so basic. People are looking for the secret sauce. The secret sauce is consistency on the basics, right?
Yep. And just work.
Yeah, I got some good leadership questions for you.
Okay, well-
Because I'm over here in awe of what you've done, and the growth you've done is so amazing. And so I'm over here like, I want to learn from this Jedi Master here on this growth because it's so impressive.
That's a big pedestal to be on. But
So I got a bunch of questions for you.
Okay,
Ready?
let's do it.
some rapid fire. So, like, if you had to describe your leadership style, what would it be?
accessible.
Accessible. What does that mean to you?
I don't even have an office. I sit at a table in the common area of our office. So our agents can always have accessibility to me if they have questions. It's interesting, the leadership of our team, so myself, Amber, who runs the sales, Katie, who runs our operations, we all sit in a common area. People walk up to us all day long with questions. So I think that has made a huge difference because it's affected the culture of the team, where if they know they can come to us at any time, it's a huge difference for our team.
Well, I think you just hit something on the head. Is I think what you're saying, there's a community in an office,
Yes.
and that is being missed now in the virtual broker world, where people are missing community. And I'm starting to see people go back to in-office communities because they need help. They want that sense of community. They're working at home alone,
Yes.
right? Like, it's interesting how that's coming back around.
I met with an agent yesterday. We had a team happy hour yesterday, and this guy who wants to join our team, he showed up and he was visiting. He goes, "Can I come to the office?" I'm like, yeah, whenever you want. He goes, oh, I miss that so much. He joined a virtual broker like us, a few months ago, and he's been working at home. He goes, I miss people. And so he says he's going to start coming in every week, which is awesome.
Yeah. So to be clear, Real is technically a virtual broker.
100%,
But
yes.
you have an office.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, your team does.
Yes.
So that's the attraction. That's
It
a
is.
magnet then.
Yes,
for
people like it. We have trainings every week. We have meetings every week that people want to attend. One of our agents just did an hour-long training on how to convert Zillow Flex. She's converting Zillow Flex at a 15% margin, which is really high.
That's like 5 times. Or what's the normal conversion?
I think they want us to hit 7.
Oh, it's that high?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
she's at 15%.
Wow.
She taught a class, and she's going to teach it again in May. But we had 60 people in the office for that class.
So what do you think sets your leadership style and you as a leader apart from these other team leaders in our market?
Oh, there's a lot of great team leaders in our market, right? There's the Ryan O'Neills, there's Parker, there's a whole bunch of them. I don't know if there's anything. I don't want to say that I'm different than everybody else, but I think one thing I have is experience. I mean, I've been in this industry for over 25 years. It feels like there isn't much I haven't seen. I'm sure there are things, but people will come to you with a question, and it's like, this is how we've done it in the past. It always works. I think experience has made a huge difference.
Yeah, I think you're super humble. So I think leading a big team like that has really big challenges. Like, what are things that have been unexpected in you as a leader that have come up on leading agents that you're like, oh, I didn't even consider this was going to be part of this role?
Oh, so much. The growth. I've had to grow so much. It's amazing how you grow just from leading other people, because things I didn't know about myself, or it's amazing what I've learned about myself even. And I think a lot of it too that you learn about is you want to get close with people, but it's helping them personally, not just business. Because you don't grow in your business unless you grow as a person. And I think that's, Amber runs most of our accountability sessions now, but just I don't want to use the term counseling, but the helping people grow. I didn't think I had that in me. So I think that's what I've learned. I didn't think I was that empathetic. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe I'm just older now, but that's the biggest change.
Empathy can be a learned skill.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, you're doing it. You're doing great with that.
When I was a kid, my mom would have told you no. So
yeah.
so.
Oh, I love it. So, yeah, thank you for sharing that, because I'm such a believer on that, like, if you want to lead others, you got to know yourself first.
You have
right?
to grow first.
Yeah, you have to have a lot of self-reflection as you're talking to someone else.
Can you lead somebody if you haven't been there before? I think it's hard.
Well, you can, but you have to be an exceptional leader in order to do that.
Yeah.
Right? Just like not all great coaches in sports have been a player. Some of them have just been an amazing coach the entire time. Look at Bill Belichick, right?
Oh yeah,
Belichick. One of the
Yep.
one of the greatest of all time. He wasn't a great player, but on the other hand, Kevin O'Connell here at the Vikings, right? He was a player,
Yep.
never elite, but he's been able to help players become elite.
Yes, he has. And I just find that I just lean on the experience I've had, which I think, because I used to sell quite a few homes myself. I've scaled that way back because we lead a team. But just being able to lean on that has helped me grow as a leader and helped, I think, grow the other people on our team. Mm-hmm. We grow from inside. So we promote from inside. It's rare that we hire somebody to be in leadership on our team that wasn't on the team already.
When you're not leading, what's your go-to to unwind?
Oh, crap, sleeping? No. No, I do things with my family, my wife, my daughter. That's really what I do. Every Sunday, I take my mother to anywhere from 3 to 5 grocery stores.
3 to 5?
Yeah, we hit a whole bunch.
What?
Different stuff at each store, I guess.
I have to ask, why do you get
let's
so
see.
many?
The yogurt she likes is at Byerly's. She likes some meals at Kowalski's. She likes this at Cub. So we just go to all these different grocery stores. So family's important, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you got to put your family even ahead of your business always. Mm-hmm. And so that's my number one is my family.
Yeah. Coming from a workaholic that has had to...
Yeah, right here too.
Yeah, has had to, at times, you fall into your own success can take away from the reason why you're doing what you're doing, which is for your family, because it can devour you.
100%, yes.
Right? Like, so what do you do to put, like, barriers on that?
Schedule.
Schedule?
I live by a schedule.
Okay.
If it's not in my calendar, I don't do it.
Yeah.
So I schedule everything. My daughter's now 22 years old. So we adopted her 21 years ago. When we adopted her, I made a commitment to myself that I would never miss one of her activities. I never did. And I believe highly in that. So I had to learn, when you're selling 60, 70, 80 homes a year, like I did when I was an agent, you better follow a schedule if you're going to have time with your family. And so I learned to schedule everything. My whole life was scheduled, and it still is. It's all in my phone.
Yeah, I think that is so easily overlooked, of running a tight schedule and trying to stick to that. First of all, time management's hard, right? But that's the skill that gives you freedom.
It 100% gives you freedom.
Yeah.
I preach that to agents all the time, and I think most of them don't believe me. But if you have a schedule and you schedule your life, you will have so much more freedom.
I feel like we run a pretty productive team.
You do.
And we have a very specific schedule that we run that is time blocked. You can ask them, do we always stick to it perfectly? No. But do we stick to it most of the time? I'd say yes. Right?
Yeah.
In my prospecting calendar, I probably stick to 60% of the time. So if I stick to mine 60% of the time, that's more than everybody else who does 0.
You're better than 90% of the people out there right there.
Yeah,
right? So,
and it's so important. And to me, it came from the pain of not sticking to the schedule, right?
Oh, yeah.
And how it ends up affecting family and ends up like all of a sudden.
the late nights.
Yeah, the late nights because you just mismanaged your time.
Yep.
It wasn't even because you were so busy. It's just you didn't manage your time well.
I went to that 2-hour lunch instead of doing what I was supposed to do, right?
Yeah, time blocking or little secrets like, I'm sorry, I'm not available. Or I already have an appointment at that time. The appointment could be your family.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love to tell our agents, you can freedom yourself out of real estate very quickly.
Freedom?
Freedom yourself out of real estate. The freedom of doing whatever you want in this industry, you can make yourself basically go broke, get out of the industry instantly. So the freedom is probably, to me, the biggest crutch for people in real estate. It's the biggest weakness. So you don't follow a schedule, you don't do what you need to do, you're not going to make any money. Mm-hmm. So freedom, everybody joins real estate. I hear this all the time. I want the freedom of creating my own schedule. I love homes. I hear that all the time, right? Well, the freedom of creating your own schedule for most people means I don't want to work enough. And so if you don't have a schedule, it's going to be very difficult. Mm-hmm. So new agents join us, we actually help them create a schedule for them and try to help them stick to it as much as they can.
That's great. Like you have like a perfect calendar for them?
We try to.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does that look like? If you would say a normal day.
Well, if you look around you can Google it anytime, right? Most great agents are in the gym early. You'll see that. They're usually at the office no later than 8 a.m. and they're doing their lead follow-up or prospecting from about 8 till noon. At about noon, they go have lunch with a past client or somebody or coffee. In the afternoon and evening, they do their appointments. Mm-hmm. I think that's pretty much the perfect schedule.
Yeah, and time block, time off, right?
100%.
Yeah, that's a big miss. That's usually.
Yep.
Yeah, of being able to say you need rest. You can't work every day. Yeah, you get fried out.
I'm off at 3:30 today.
You are?
Yep.
Great.
Going to move my daughter to a new house.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So
the real estate industry, I think, has really evolved. And it felt like it was kind of antiquated for a long time. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, post-COVID, there was this rapid evolution that has happened. And it's really changing right now. I don't even know if we can predict where it's going to go. What do you see happening like in the next couple of years? What is it? Do you think another evolutional shift?
AI.
AI?
Learn AI.
Okay.
I mean, I'm 56 years old. I'm learning AI. If I can do it, anybody can. I think that's going to be the biggest change we have coming.
Yeah. So give me a practical example of how that applies to a realtor.
Simple things just like no chat GPT. Learn that. I think AI is going to replace a few things in our industry coming forward. I mean, I'm actually working on an AI product right now even. And if we can make it be successful, it would replace a role in real estate with AI. There'd still have to be people to monitor it.
Like transaction coordination?
It'll be something along those lines, yeah.
Okay.
Now you have to sign an NDA. But
yeah. But yeah, that makes sense.
I think AI is going to be the biggest growth.
We use ChatGPT now on things as simple, and this may be obvious, but I think a lot of people are missing this. How do you respond to this client text?
Oh, yeah.
Right? And then just keep prompting it. Oh, I don't like how that is. Prompt it to go a different way. Like how, like taking an email that you feel like that it's for an offer that you could clean this up and make it look more organized,
Tone.
and running and prompting it and running it through a couple of times until you see a format that looks great.
I mean, shout out to Kirby, right? He invented click contracts.
Yeah.
That has changed half of what my team does.
Yeah.
I mean,
In what way?
we can write purchase agreements that are extremely accurate in a lot less time now.
Okay. How long does it take to write a PA right now, do you think?
It depends on the agent.
Yeah.
I mean, like me personally, I can do one in 10 minutes or less.
Yeah.
But if you're a brand new agent, I've seen some of them take 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And using click contracts, it takes about 2 minutes.
Man, I told a client this the other day that they wanted to do a for sale by owner, and they needed someone to help, and they wanted to get attorneys involved. And I said, you realize that an attorney is going to take days
Yeah.
to do what this realtor can do in 5 minutes. Like, you need to call your realtor and just talk to them and see what they can do, like to help you, like, because this, like, they just know how to do it so much more efficient and probably more accurate because the attorney doesn't do it every day.
And back in the day, I mean, we controlled all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Life has changed a lot. We don't need to control that. We're now here for marketing. We're here for advice, expertise. The industry's changed.
We have a lot of agents that listen
Yeah.
to this podcast, and they're aspiring to be a leader. And for them, they might be on their own right now. Like, what can you share with them for them to take into consideration as they're moving on to wanting to be a leader in the real estate industry too?
I think we kind of hit the point before: coaching, personal growth. I think that's going to be the biggest things to actually grow. Our team didn't grow till I grew. And it was stuck for years. For years, we were selling 100 homes a year, which is still a very successful team, by the way. But then I had to grow. And when I grew, the team grew.
Is that when you hired a coach?
I had coaches before that, but I didn't listen.
Oh,
That's probably when I started listening.
yeah. So was it the right coach, met the right mentor at the time or mentee at the time? Or did you have to change coaches, or did you start listening to the one you had?
It had to be me. It was never the coach was the issue. People had told me the same things over and over, and I bounced from coach to coach for a while, listening to the same advice, saying, oh, they must be wrong. I had to grow. And I'm a late bloomer, really. I mean, I should have built a team like this years ago. And now I'm doing it now, but, Robert Slack in Florida didn't start his team till he was 74, and now it's like the biggest team in the nation. So I think I had to grow a lot as a person. I think that's really grow as a person first would be my advice.
When an agent hears that, I don't know if that means something in particular. Like, so how do you grow as a person? Like, how do you, like, what are things that you have done to be able to get to where you're at? So coaching, is it reading, podcasts? What is it?
God, I wish I read a lot. Podcasts, listening to people. I think it's internal what has to change with you, right? I was probably too immature still to grow a large team, think I knew everything when I really didn't. And I think it was that, and then hiring the right people. I think the number one thing you have to do to grow a team is surround yourself with people that are better than you. I have the vision for the team, and it's all written out, obviously, where we're headed in the next 3 years. But I was not the right person to implement it all. I had to find those people.
Yeah, that's so true, especially for the agent that's looking to hire the first staff person.
Yeah.
Don't hire you. Let's be
No,
clear.
no.
Don't hire you.
And-
They're like, oh, I love this person so much. I'm like, oh, in your first interview, you loved each other? I'm like, red flag.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
if you're trying to hire your opposite.
Yeah, don't hire me either. I'll tell you that. So,
Yeah, hire your opposite. You need to hire the person that's organized, that's detailed, that's going to follow through for you. Their personality usually isn't going to blow you away in the interview, right? Like, it's because they don't have the same personality as you, which is what you're looking for.
But
right?
look at our team. Amber joined us 10 years ago as a salesperson, right?
Yeah.
First year in the industry, she sold 35 homes, which is pretty darn good your first year, right?
Yeah.
When we had no lead sources but a bunch of names on paper. She has grown over the last 10 years to being truly the leader of the team. She is the one that the agents go to with most of their questions. She is the day-to-day leader of the team. She developed within our organization, and she has grown as a person. So as she grew as a person and the team asked for more and more out of me, I had to grow as a person. And I think that's been the biggest change for the whole team.
Mm-hmm. Can you grow with the coach you got, or do you have to go to a new one? Your coach, if he's listening, he's probably like, oh my gosh.
100% we could, yes.
Yeah, okay. Because he's coaches some mega teams.
A lot bigger than us.
Yeah, in the mortgage industry too.
Oh, yeah.
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 So he's not alone in just the real estate world.
I think he coaches a lender that did $1 billion in loans.
Yeah. Shayla, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shayla Gifford.
Yeah.
So I was in a coaching program, a different coaching program with her. And she's also a coach.
Yeah, and she's become a friend of mine too.
Oh, she has.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's amazing.
So-
She's awesome. So
She's not here in Minnesota, obviously.
yeah, no, she's in
Somewhere.
Reno.
Reno?
Yeah. So, but yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I love that your coach is coaching coaches.
Yeah, isn't it insane?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
super, super cool. So, and what's cool is, so when I started in the industry in '05, I had to listen to Brian Tracy CDs driving around in my car on my commute. And now when we're talking about people like John Cheplick, you can just go to Google and Google this guy, and you can follow him on social media. You can learn from him on YouTube for free. Like, this is amazing, the access to information.
All the best coaches. I mean, look at Hatch and look at Sheplak. They're two of the best ones I know. Mm-hmm. Everything they do is out there. I'll tell you what, 60 to 80% of what they're giving their clients is out there for free.
It is.
If you go learn.
It's the accountability that's not there.
That's correct.
Do they hold you pretty accountable?
I will tell you, yes, in a different way.
Okay.
And I still talk to Hatch probably 3 times a week too.
Yeah.
Because he's one of my sponsors at Real.
Okay.
In different ways, yes. I mean, at the beginning of Q1, we set a goal as a team to have at least 100 agents on the team and be at least 100 pending transactions at all time by the end of Q1. Mm-hmm. We hit 90 agents and 110 pending. So, I mean, we were proud of that moment, right? 110 we had never done as pending transactions. And, but where was that other 10 agents? We should have hit that too.
What do agents need to be really hyper aware of in the next 12 months? Do you have your crystal ball of what you think the real estate market's going to do?
If I predict it'll change, right?
Yeah.
I think it's going to get harder before it gets easier. I think the amount of work you have to put in is going to get harder. Back in 2020, it was, selling homes was pretty easy. Anybody could be a realtor. Now you have to actually have skills. You got to do the right work. I think the biggest thing they're going to have to learn is more skills.
In our market, you get a little spoiled for 90 days out of the year.
Yeah.
Where you can misprice a house and the market catches up to you. But then, just like we saw last year, there's a whole rest of the year that you have to know how to actually list homes.
100%.
The proper price.
Yeah.
You overlist, and the client actually gets less for the house.
Every time.
Right.
But when you're representing a buyer too, you better know, right? There's a difference that if you and I both write an offer on a house and your offer is super clean, well written, great rapport, you send a video text to the listing agent saying, I sent over an offer, great loan officer involved, and mine's sloppy, I miss a bunch of things. Who are they going to work with? I think that's a huge difference too. Your skills have got to be sharp in how you present stuff. Back when I started, we presented offers, right? We go to the kitchen table and present it to them. We can't do that anymore. The seller doesn't know who we are anymore, but the listing agent better, because that listing agent is now the person that's going to be campaigning in a way for the seller to accept your offer. So a lot of our agents will send a video text as soon as they send an offer, introducing themselves, saying who the loan officer is. It's great when a loan officer will call the listing agent and say, hey, this buyer is more than qualified. We've done this, this, and this. I think all that is going to set you apart.
Yeah. The art of the properly presented offer, I see it on my end of everything ranging from an email with no phone call or text, which blows my mind.
Yep.
Right? It's just as an email that
Yep.
goes over, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing.
So we're big into the
Yeah.
video text and a phone call.
I love that. So, yeah, the video text, the phone call, use the little audio button and text messaging
Well,
people.
And the video text puts name to face, right?
100%. Yeah, I love that. Building the rapport with them to be able to say, this is a real person. Look,
Yep. So
right?
you're now building a rapport with the listing agent.
Correct. So we do that on every offer where we're calling the listing agent as well and building the rapport with them. It just makes sense.
Yeah, I know you've called me on some, and
Yeah.
truthfully, if I know that you're the loan officer, I know it's going to close. I'm not worried, right? And that's a difference too.
Yeah. You got to have a reputation.
Yeah, if
behind
reputation matters.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you seeing, so this is an interesting thing on the mortgage side. We're seeing more mortgage lenders stumble right now than we have. And I think it's because the clients are a little harder. Like the
Yep.
files aren't as clean as they used to be a few years ago,
Yep.
right? Getting more first-time home buyers. So then there's a little more hoops to jump through. And we're seeing lenders stumble.
I question more pre-approval letters now than I ever have.
Really?
Sure.
Why?
I read a lot of them. It's really a pre-qual letter. I swear sometimes they never even pulled credit on some of the people.
Yeah.
And that makes me really nervous, right?
We're seeing desperation pre-approvals.
Uh-huh.
It's almost like, hey, maybe they work for a big company and they have to show they got a pipeline.
Yep.
And there's no income verified. Like where it's like, oh, you're self-employed, you make $100,000 a year, great. And then we look at their tax returns, like, well, you make 20.
By the way, those were the good old days when you could say what you made and everybody got a loan. But
Yeah, works great until you have a pre-qual letter
Yeah.
that blows up the whole deal.
it does too. And we've seen that happen. We had that on a listing recently
Yeah.
where the people shouldn't have ever been approved.
Yeah, so we have a file closing today, $1 million+ property. They got pre-approved with a Rocket Mortgage, and their backup was U.S. Bank. Okay, unrepresented. When they went directly to the listing, they're an attorney. Okay, and did not have an agent. Rocket Mortgage could not close the deal. They went to U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank, the loan officer didn't even work there anymore.
Oh, no.
Right, and that was the actual pre-approval letter they used was U.S. Bank, and then they went to Rocket because it was a better rate. So they couldn't work with either of them, and we closed the deal in 10 days on a turndown on $1 million+ home.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, which is amazing, right? Super complicated too, but they were looking for the cheapest rate.
That's I would not shop. I mean, rate's important, obviously, right? I don't want to pay 0.5%, 0.75% higher than everybody else, but I want service. I'm willing to pay for service personally. I think most people are.
Thank you for taking the time to hang out on the podcast with me.
It was fun.